Most of the time when we first meet or talk with a customer, our natural instinct is to talk and talk a lot. Maybe it's because we love our product so much. Maybe it's because we're afraid the customer won't truly understand the value, the benefits, or the amazing results our product or service can bring. And there's a third reason, the most common one, that as human beings, we simply love to talk more than we love to ask or listen. But as you've been following this training, I believe you've already started to absorb one of the most powerful principles. Telling is not selling. Asking questions is selling. Talking is not selling. Asking is. In this key, I'm going to share with you the 3 incredible powers of asking questions and how developing the habit of asking can transform your sales performance. The first power, asking shows that you care. It's almost impossible to show genuine care, sincerity, or interest in your customers if you're the only one doing the talking. Without the habit of asking questions, your care will never have the chance to do its job. Let me tell you a story. A noble lady had just returned from a trip to Africa. She attended a dinner party where the famous Dale Carnegie was present, along with many distinguished guests. When she met Carnegie, she said, rather sarcastically, "I heard you are the best conversationalist in all of New York. Is that true?" Carnegie smiled and replied, "Thank you, ma'am. But I heard that you've just come back from Africa, haven't you?" After she answered, Carnegie continued to ask more questions. Did you travel alone or with someone? What did you find most fascinating about Africa? How did you feel in that new city? What experiences stood out the most to you? He asked, and she shared. He kept asking, and she kept talking. The next morning, a local newspaper published an article quoting that same lady, saying, "Last night, I had the honor of speaking with the great Dale Carnegie truly. He is the best conversationalist in all of New York." But in truth, Carnegie barely said anything. He just asked questions that showed genuine curiosity and care. And that's the secret. In sales and in life, when we set our ego aside and step into someone else's world with curiosity and interest, that's when real connection begins. You probably remember from our earlier session on prospect development how important it is to show genuine care before you sell. And how do you show it best? By asking questions. The second power, asking uncovers needs. This is perhaps the most important purpose of asking in the entire discovery and sales process. As you learned earlier, to truly understand your customer's needs through gap analysis, your only real tool is asking questions. When you master this art, you go further, faster, and more successfully than you ever imagined. The more you ask, the more you'll uncover the customer's real needs, even the hidden emotional ones. In the US, people often use the 3 whys, but in Japan, they go deeper with the 5 whys, a method used to peel back layers of a problem, like peeling corn or garlic, until you find the core. Let me give you an example. In a grand palace in Italy, a manager once noticed scratches appearing on the walls right under the chandeliers. He asked his staff, "Why are there so many scratches under the lights?" They replied, "Because at night, when the lights are on, moths fly toward them and scratch the walls." Even after repainting, the scratches kept coming back. The manager asked again, "Why do the moths keep flying into our palace instead of other nearby buildings?" The staff said, "Because our palace is larger and brighter, it attracts them more." Then the manager asked one more question. What if we just turn on our lights 10 to 15 minutes later than the surrounding buildings? And that question led to a brilliant discovery. When the nearby houses turned on their lights first, the moths were drawn to them, not the palace. A simple question solved a recurring problem. That's the power of deep questioning. When you use the peeling technique, layer after layer, you uncover the core truth behind every customer's problem, emotion, and desire. Once you find that, selling becomes much easier, because you're speaking directly to their inner motivation, their hot buttons. Those insights are the heart of every successful deal and the foundation for how you'll later present your solution. It's like what the ancient strategist Cao Cao once said, "I will never truly trust a man until I know his weakness." And the same applies to sales. You can't truly sell to someone until you understand their deepest need, fear, or desire. And how do you discover it? Always through asking questions.